All who did not know me when not done, they gon' know the name. Million people coming down, dancing to a song. Love is life and life is love. Blessings from above. Can you feel the love that's in the air?
Welcome you to my channel. This is my first ever makeup tutorial that I'm launching here on YouTube, so please be kind and gentle. I am not doing anything dramatic today. It's just going to be very basic, and I actually am filming this with a couple of people in mind because they had asked me to do this, and I, was like, why not? Why not, right? So we're gonna start off simple, and in future videos we're gonna expand. So before you apply your makeup, regardless of your skin type, you must, and may I emphasize, you must always moisturize. Whether it be oily, whether it be dry, whether it be combination, even normal, you must moisturize. So today I'm using the Nivea Cream Moisturizer. I got this from Pennywise, and that's those of you who reside in Trinidad and Tobago. Now you don't have to use this cream, you don't have to use this moisturizer. If there's any other moisturizer that you use, stay with it. And this has been like what, 3 years now since I've been using this, and I've never turned back. Rub it into the skin gently. Now when you moisturize, you go in upward motions like this. When you go below your eyes, you pat gently. So I recommend that when you moisturize, you wait approximately 5 to 10 minutes to let your moisturizer soak into your skin. The next step is primer. This is Sasha's Little Velvet Face Canvas. Also use the famous e.l.f. Putty Poreless Primer. I'm going to use a combination of the two. Now how I do that, I put this all over my face, and then I strictly just put this on my T-zone. So I'm just going to use this amount, not much. And again, just like my moisturizer, I'm not rubbing, I'm patting. And with a putty primer, I just use a little bit. So again, I'm only putting on my T-zone. Now your T-zone is the area that's most oily, or where you will attain the most shine. Now, I'm not going to use this today, but if it is that you want that really matte look throughout the entire day, Milk of Magnesia, this is your best friend. Now, I do not recommend persons who have dry skin types to use that because it's very dry. So there are 2 ways I apply my brows. I actually either use my BH Cosmetics Brow Studio palette, or you can use your simple eyebrow pencil or gel or brow pomade or eyebrow powder. You want to need an angled brush, which is like this, and a spoolie. Now the spoolie is used to comb through your brows. Now I start from below then on top, so I'm going to show you, right? So I comb my brows upward. I get into my powder, and then I draw. Now, one thing I must say, in order to shape your brows, for those of you who do not know what to do, brow begins where the arch starts and where your brow ends, right? In order to find that, you must always ensure that your pencil, if you have a white eyebrow pencil or white eyeliner, go to the end of your nose like this, and you draw your line straight up, right, at a 90-degree angle. So that's how you know where your brow starts. Side of your nose to the end of your eye, you draw up, You know that where it's supposed to end, until to see where your arch goes. Side of your nose again to the center of your pupil. So you want to look straight ahead for this, and you go up, right? So that way you get your eyebrow shape. Now your eyebrow shape, that's another video for those of you who do not know. Your shape of your eyebrows depends on your facial structure, where you have a round face, almond face, heart shape, square, different face shapes. And your brows, your makeup, your contour, your highlighting, all these things varies according to the structure of your face, right? That is a guide. But as I said, later down we will get more into makeup and more into corrective makeup and more into how to do makeup for you, for yourself. So now that I'm finished drawing out my outline here, I'm just going to fill in here to get the desired thickness I want. And if it's too thick, don't worry, you can always go in, or you will always go in after and have that cleaned up. When you get to the top now, what you do, you comb down. So that way you will see the natural line of your brows. So whatever's left on the brush, then you go into your brow and you just have that filled in. Right, it's looking a little bit crazy now, but don't worry, eventually you're gonna fix that, it's gonna get better. So then what you do now, you're taking your spoolie and you're brushing out. So what this does, it actually causes a gradient. If you notice, naturally your brows thin out at the beginning, most of us. Not all, but most of us. If you notice, you will get a gradient, right? So I'm gonna go ahead, do my next brow, then come back. So we are back. I just went on to do this eye, and now I'm going over to this eye to show you exactly what I did step by step. Now, as I said, it's something that's simple, not too much. Because of the color palette, it can work with almost any outfit you have on, and you can always interchange, right? So you're gonna see how I did this by showing you how I did this one here. So first, what you want to do, you want to sculpt your eyebrows, because after you've drawn them on, you want to neaten it up a bit. Now, I see a lot of people where they use their concealer. Now, when you're highlighting, the highlighting portion that puts back the light into your face, meaning at your forehead, the bridge of your nose, under eyes, chin, cupid bow, right? For that purpose, you will use a foundation or a concealer that's 2 to 3 shades lighter than your natural complexion or the concealer that you would have decided to use on your face. I realized that they use that on top. That's a big no-no, because you're going to be walking around with halo brows. You don't want that. You want your makeup to be seamless, to be flawless. So what you will do, you will use the concealer that's 2 to 3 shades lighter under your eye, and the foundation that you're going to use, you put that on top, right? So I'm going to demonstrate that for you right now. But first I'm going to conceal, or I'm going to sculpt the base of my brow, and then I'm going to go up. So when I sculpt here, I drag that down, or not drag specifically, but I blend that onto the lid of my eye, because 2 for 1. And when I say 2 for 1, I mean that you can use one product for multiple purposes. Alright? So you don't have to go and get a product for every single application process. So what I'm going to do now is put the concealer underneath and my foundation on top. So in this case, I'm using a flat shaped concealer brush. And I'm applying that, and then I'm going to take a little bit more and apply it all over my lid, because it's going to be doubled as an eyeshadow primer. Now, eyeshadow primer is used to prep the lid so that when you apply your eyeshadows, it lasts longer. It goes on very pigmented, Alright, and that's what you want. You want pigment and you want adherence. You want something to grip the eyeshadow so that it may last longer. So now I'm going into my foundation shade and I'm going to carefully scrub the top of my brow. Right, so see, it's that easy. Then you can just take your same brush and pull whatever excess up to your forehead. So that way when you apply your foundation, everything is blended in seamlessly. And you have no halo brows. Alright, so ideally you should wait till the concealer that you just applied gets a little bit tacky. Now that's what you want. You don't want it wet, you want it a little bit tacky. That's the best way to apply on your eyeshadow, because once it reaches that tacky stage, that's where it holds the best. Now you want to apply your base eyeshadow, so that is going to be the shadow that's all over your lid. You can put it up to your brow bone. In this case, I'm using the Elegant Haute Heat, I believe it is. Forgive me if I butcher that name. And I'm using this shade here. That shade is known as Flame. So I'm going to use Flame and apply Flame over my crease and brow. You want to use a fluffy blending brush. This brush is very old. It's a BH Cosmetics brush. I do not know if it's still in production because I've had it for some time. So what you do, you want to pat. Patting is what helps the pigment to come out even more, and you're laying that beautiful canvas so that when you go ahead with your other eyeshadows, it's going to be easy to blend. Now, not dipping into the eyeshadow palette anymore, you're going to just blend that up to your brow bone. Careful not to disrupt those sculpt brows. Right, so once you do that, you're going to have a beautiful gradient. Right, so great. So now that's done, I'm going to go into a smaller blending brush. Right, a brush like this. It's fluffier than the other one. And I'm going into the shade, let's see, Vacay. That's the shade right here. And I'm going to apply that into my crease. Now for those of you who do not know how to identify your crease, what you can do, you can look straight ahead. So when you look ahead, you're going to see the folds in your eyes. That's your crease, right? So you're going to apply it there. Now what I'm doing, I'm applying it there and I'm brushing it up a little bit, blending it into the brow bone just a little bit. So the two colors are so well blended that you are not able to see start to finish. So now that's done, I'm taking a smaller blending brush like this and I'm dipping it into the color Getaway. Getaway. So I'm going to the color Getaway. Now if it is that you find that you pick up a little bit too much eyeshadow, you can just lightly tap it on your palette, right? Now at this point, I'm just going to stipple it on your outer V. Now the outer V is that outer corner right here. Now the reason why you want to put a darker shade is to create definition like this. More into eye shapes so that you will know how to shape your eyes. For example, like someone who has droopy eyes, close set eyes, fast set eyes. Yes, there are principles of makeup that will apply to those persons to have it corrected. And when I say corrected, meaning that it's bringing it into your ideal shape. The ideal eye shape is almond eyes. Alright? So what you want to do, you just want to stipple it right here in your outer V first. So you just pattern in that color, and then you ever so gently in circular motions blending that outward. So you notice it's starting to come in, dip into your eyeshadow until you get your desired shape or desired intensity. And what you're doing, you're not putting anything more into the brush, but you're gently bringing it into your crease. Right. So the next step now, you want to reapply more concealer, if you prefer eyeshadow base, onto your lid. Now your lid is the area between your lash line and the crease, right? So you want to go into the same concealer that you would have used for your brows or your eyeshadow primer, and you gently place it where you want your eyeshadow to be next. Now, for those of you who know a bit about makeup, this is not a cut crease. And for those of you who do not know, a cut crease is where you will emphasize your crease to get a more bold look, and the edges of the crease is more defined. In this case, we are not going to have it defined. We're going to blend it up to give that well blended look, right? Great. So now that I have it where I want it, you want to get a flat eyeshadow. Now I'm going into the shade First Class, and I'm applying that only where I've just applied my concealer. Right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to gently blend the eyeshadow up into my outer crease, I should say, but not so much, just a little bit to create that gradient. So now I'm going back with my same brush that I've applied on my lid, and I'm going into the shade Please. My shirt won't stay centered. I'm going back, but I'm going into Beach Please, and I'm just going to apply that where my outer V meets my lid color. Just right there. That is to create a seamless gradient. Right? So when you do things like these, you look for two colors that closely resemble each other. Then I'm here and just blend in. Right. So there we have it. Now we're just gonna apply eyeliner. This eyeliner is from Caramel. So what you do now, when you want your eyeliner now, to get that wing, some persons you can use tape. If you're a beginner, I suggest that you use your clear tape, stationery tape. It's not masking tape, Scotch tape, and you just place it right here, and then you can draw your eyeliner over that. So in this case, I'm gonna just try my best to guide you through this step by step. So what you want to do, take your time, and you're just creating one line, a thin line that's coming from here to here like this. Then you join from here, bring it in. You come from your inner corner or your tear duct, and you slowly trace it out, connecting, and then you fill. I do not do my under eye until I finish my entire face. The reason for that is sometimes you will go ahead and do your under eye, and then once you do your makeup, it gets removed, it gets touched, and then you have to do over the entire process. So today, the foundation that I have been using is Second Skin Foundation by Machel Cosmetics. Right? So there's no particular science, I just apply. Now for those of you who are now starting, it is best to start with a little and then build coverage. In this instance, and I'm using my foundation brush, my foundation blending brush like this by e.l.f. and stippling. You do not want to drag on your skin, ladies and gents. You do not want to drag at all. And can we talk about the faces you make? When you apply makeup, it's like... When you're applying your foundation, you meet your jawline. Some persons go to their neck. Now the reason why I don't go to my neck is because my neck, my chest, well, my face is darker than both my neck and my chest. So once I use my foundation that matches my neck, all I have to do is stop at my jawline and it's good enough for me. Okay, so in this case, I've just probably went a little bit overboard with the foundation. So if you have a beauty blender, excuse mine, it's a little bit jacked up, but it does the job. So what you can do, you can just go ahead and pat over your face. What it will do, we will add on to the coverage, but yet remove all excess foundation. Okay, so now you want to apply your concealer. I use Milani Conceal and Perfect. It's a 2-in-1. It's a foundation as well as a concealer. I love it for the fact that it has full coverage. It's not oily, it's not greasy, it lasts and it works well. Right? I'm using shade 11 Amber. 1 pump is enough to do your entire face.
And I drink so much you could hear the slur in the speech. Plus I'm causing all kind of bacchanal in the streets. Now the iron start and this rhythm I start to beat. The melody feels so sweet. It have me jamming, have me whining, have me waving, causing vibes in the party.
That's when you start to look like a crazy person. Okay, so now I'm gonna blend with my brush. Stippling motions again. Now, my setting powder, I mix mine. I use Topaz from Benai mixed with Sasha's Buttercup. So you get this shade, which is not too bright and it's not too dark, it's just right. So this is looking like a little bit much, but don't worry, when you blend, everything comes together. And now I'm going back into my highlighter under eye and blend. So I know a lot of persons bake. I do not bake. What I do is basically just pat in my highlighting powder, setting powder. First, I put that onto my skin. Now you just want to tap a little bit, all where I did not put my highlighter. You can also go over the areas that you've already set. It helps it to blend in even better. Now going in with the same sponge, I am applying my face powder in my shade. Oh, and this shade is in Nutmeg. So for contour, I am using Machel Cosmetics yet again. Their powdered blush in the shade Matte Brown. Go goes a long way. So be very careful. Now let me just show you something. Tap. Nothing too much. If you find that it's not enough, then you can add. Less is more at times. So what I do, right there. You see how pigmented that is? Technically, you want to do 2 to 3 fingers away from your ear. That's where you know you're gonna stop. So I love the shape of my nose. I do not contour to snatch my nose or anything like that. I love it just the way it is. So all I just do is just lightly put my contour powder to the side and underneath here, and that's it with me. For my jawline, I do put a little bit here because I do have a little bit of fat under the jaw. So this is what we call sculpting, creating my dimension again. I love my 5 head, so I really don't go there. But if it is that you have you wanna make your forehead look a little bit smaller, and by doing so you're putting a shadow here, so the light will be focused here. So that will give your forehead an illusion of being small. Using one of my eyeshadow palettes as highlighter and blush. After I put my contour, I like to go in with my highlighter. I'm using my Nubian 2 palette from Juvia's Space. And for my highlighter today, I'm going to use the shade Nefertiti. Eyeshadows are highly pigmented, so be very careful. A little bit goes a long way. So see, look, that's just one dab, and that's enough. Over my Cupid's bow, right there, tip off my nose, a little bit on the bridge, and I just want to dab it a little bit here on my forehead. Now you notice how the light is reflected there, just right here. Then I'm going to use some right here. Right. Notice that glow? Look at here compared to here. I'm going to go in with my blush. I'm using the shade Morocco from the same Nubian's 2 palette. The placement is directly in between where I would have put my contour and my highlights. We are going to go to the under eye area, right? Because remember earlier I said I leave that for last. Now that I'm satisfied with my look, I'm just going to go with my under eye. Now I'm going back into that shade that we used at first, which is Getaway. I'm going to put a little bit of Getaway on my outer edge. Now I'm going to go in with the shade Relax to put some color. So I'm using the same shade that I've used for my highlighter from my Nubian 2 palette, Nefertiti. And I'm going to put that on my inner tear duct. So we are almost done. All we have again is to put on our lashes and our lips. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is put on my mascara. I use LA Colors HD waterproof mascara. It's very, very affordable and it does the job. And a piece of advice, always apply your mascara before you apply your lashes. Adding your mascara to your lashes shortens its lifespan. And can we talk about the faces we make when we apply our eyeliner and mascara? Lashes Cosmetics Intense Matte Lip Velvet in the shade XOXO to keep that contrast going on. Nothing too bright today. So, Your setting spray, in this case is Sasha Fix It spray, but it also sets your makeup, and the purpose of this is to take away that powdery look and to blend everything in, and that is what causes your makeup to look like skin once applied properly. So you shake, hold about 12 to 16 inches away or so, and you spray. Right? And that's it. So thank you for taking your time to check my channel out, to view this video. I hope you like it. If you have any additional questions for future videos or anything that I've done today that you did not understand or would like me to go in depth, please leave a comment. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and be